Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoMania, your go-to for crypto breakdowns and market insights. Today is November 8th, 2025, and we're diving deep into what's happening in the crypto world right now. From global market cap moves to major developments in ETFs and altcoins to what this all means for you. Whether you're new to crypto or a seasoned investor, this is the one you'll want to watch. So buckle up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's get started. Section 1. Market Overview and Big Picture. Let's begin at the macro level. Over the past 24 hours, the global cryptocurrency market capitalization has risen by approximately 3%, reaching around $3.44 trillion. This comes after a recent 7-day decline of nearly 7%, a sign of renewed activity, but also caution. Market forces Africa, markets. This comes after a recent 7-day decline of nearly 7%, a sign of renewed activity but also caution. Bitcoin dominance has kicked up as many altcoins lag behind, signaling that capital is rotating into the safer large-cap assets rather than speculative small ones. So what's driving the rebound? Two major themes. A short-term bounce as markets heal, and a shift of focus back to institutional flows and ETF activity. But, and this is important, the market remains fragile. The question is this a genuine turn or just a pause in a broader downtrend? We'll explore that now. Section 2. Bitcoin, holding support or losing ground? Let's zoom in on the big guy, Bitcoin, BTC. It's trading near $100K plus, but what really matters is how it behaves around key support levels. As of Nov 8, Bitcoin's declined below some longer-term supports, and analysts now ask how low could it go before a new all-time high. 24/7 Wall Street. For instance, a recent article argues that Bitcoin's drop below certain technical lines is a red flag, unless a meaningful bounce happens soon. Business Today. Now, with market cap recovering but Bitcoin still under pressure, we're looking at two scenarios. Scenario A, bearish. Bitcoin fails to hold $10,000 support, which could trigger further decline. Scenario B, optimistic. Bitcoin stabilizes at these levels and attracts further institutional capital, setting up the next leg up. For us users and investors, track liquidity. Support zones around $10,000 and ETF inflow signals. For your channel, highlight how these flows impact not just price, but investor sentiment and risk dynamics. Section 3. Institutional flows, ETFs, and market structure. One of the most important dynamics right now is institutional money and ETF behavior. Remember, markets often move when big players move, not just retail hype. Over the last week, we saw the global market cap bounce, but at the same time, many analysts note net outflows from spot Bitcoin ETFs, meaning some capital is leaving even while the broader market shows a rise. Market forces Africa, markets. Let's also talk about an important emerging story, the proposed spot ETF for XRP. According to recent filings, funds like Canary Capital have amended prospectuses aimed at an XRP spot ETF launch. If approved, this would expand the ETF model beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, signaling wider institutionalization of crypto. Why it matters? It could redirect capital flows toward alt assets like XRP. It strengthens the crypto is mainstream institutions narrative. It adds regulatory clarity and may reduce risk premium for large investors. Thus, when you see ETF filings, inflow-outflow data, note it. They're a vital indicator of underlying health. For your channel, highlight how these flows impact not just price, but investor sentiment and risk dynamics. Section 4. Altcoin Spotlight. XRP, Solana, others. Now let's look beyond Bitcoin to the altcoin universe. XRP. It recently surged about 3.6% to $2.31, breaking key resistance at $2.28. The move coincided with increased institutional wallet creation and volume spikes. This suggests institutional accumulation, not just retail hype. If that process continues, it may fuel a breakout. But caution, altcoins generally remain weaker than Bitcoin at the moment. The altcoin season index reads about 28.100, telling us fundamentals remain tilted toward BTC. Other altcoins, for example, projects with unlock events, network upgrades, or institutional partnerships are worth monitoring. Key takeaway: any altcoin entry now demands conviction and risk control. Big moves may be ahead, but they often require patience. Section 5. Security, hacks, and protocol risks. Before we move on, remember, the crypto space is not immune to operational risk. Recent headlines show some protocols under stress. For example, a major DeFi protocol asked hackers to return funds after an exploit. What this means: smart contract audits remain essential. Do not assume blue chip means risk-free. Keep part of your holdings in self-custody and diversify exposure. For beginners, before chasing yield, ensure you understand the security model of any project. Section 6. Macro and market risk. Dollar strength, risk appetite. Crypto doesn't exist in a vacuum. Global macro factors are having a major influence. One of the primary drivers is the strength of the US dollar. A stronger dollar tends to suppress risk assets, including crypto. Additionally, institutional risk appetite has cooled. Hedge funds are diversifying or taking profits after earlier runs. So what to watch? U.S. interest rate signals and central bank statements. Dollar index movements. Traditional markets as proxies for risk sentiment. In short, if macro turns sour, even the best crypto narrative may pause. Section 7. Practical tips for beginners and risk management. Okay, now for the part your audience will appreciate. What you can do. Dollar cost averaging, DCA. With volatility high and trend unclear, DCA into positions rather than lump sum. Risk management. Don't risk more than 1 to 2% of your capital on one trade. Use stop losses or mental exits. Diversify. A mix of BTC, core, selective altcoins, high risk, high reward, and some stablecoins, liquidity, works well. Security hygiene. Use hardware wallets, enable 2FA, and avoid keeping large amounts on exchanges. Stay informed. Follow ETF flows, regulatory updates, macroeconomics. These are the levers moving the market. If you keep these rules front in mind, you'll be better equipped for whatever the market brings next. Section 8. Final thoughts and what's ahead. Let's wrap it up. The crypto market is showing signs of life. The market cap rebound, ETF momentum, altcoin bursts, but we're still in a zone of uncertainty. Key questions remain. Can Bitcoin hold the 100K plus support zone? Will altcoins break out or remain sidelined? Will institutional flows pick up again, or will they resume outflows? How will macro factors, dollar, rates, regulation, influence the next leg of the move? For your channel, message this clearly. This is not a guaranteed bull run. It's a critical juncture. If you want to get in now, do so with discipline, not FOMO. Thanks for watching CryptoMania. If you found this useful, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss next week's update. Stay smart, stay safe, and I'll see you for the next deep dive. And that wraps up today's crypto market update for November 8th, 2025. As we've seen, the market is showing signs of life, but uncertainty still rules the game. Remember, stay patient, stay analytical, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next deep dive. Drop a comment below. Which coins are you holding right now, and which one do you think will outperform this month? Let's talk about it in the next episode. Thanks for watching CryptoMania, helping you stay smart, stay safe, and always stay in the game.